Welcome to another episode of the Politrickkks As Usual podcast. Today I got two special guests with me, YA and my man Snacks, together. They are TheBreed ENT. How y'all doing tonight?
Good, man.
Word. Thank y'all for coming down, coming from New Haven. How was the traffic?
Crazy.
That's crucial.
Word. So part of the intro, part of this thing is I have to announce y'all are Grammy-winning producers.
Correct.
Which is amazing, but the story is so layered, so I want to start all the way from the beginning and just talk about y'all beginnings, where y'all started, where y'all from, and a little bit about yourself.
Okay. Let's go with it.
I knew Snacks from church. We both church musicians, we church boys, so we grew up in the church. And I think his senior year or something.
2009.
2000, around there, I linked back up with him. We were teaching him drums and stuff because he was in a drum corps, and I was a drum teacher. And then we went on. We went our separate ways, but then we connected again through a mutual friend when we both started making beats. And since then, we've been locked in at the hip ever since. I would say about 2000, like you said, 2009, 2010.
Yeah.
Ever since then, we've been locked in. But prior to that, we always knew each other through church and just being around and
Or a lot of musicians come out of church. Like that foundation, I think, just teaches you like true music, like be a true musician.
Yeah.
Do y'all play any instruments?
Yeah, I play drums, piano, little guitar, organ.
Word.
Like what?
Oh, word.
Yeah.
So y'all do it all. Mm-hmm. Word. So y'all met there, y'all been rocking since. And what was the first joint y'all did together?
Like that came out?
Nah, not even. Both. Maybe that came out and just tinker with. Because y'all couldn't just go from meeting each other and say, all right, let's do beats together.
Well, let's go back before that period.
Yeah.
We had a mentor, Troy Oliver. Shout out to Troy Oliver, is our mentor. He actually put us in the game. We used to go to his studio in Terriff, Connecticut. I don't know if anybody knows where that's at, but it's really like the tip of the north part of Connecticut. You know what I'm saying? So it's like an hour away from New Haven. You know what I'm saying? So we went up there, and that was basically like our boot camp. We went there every day, but we never made beats. We were always engineer. We never made a beat for like 3 months. We went there every day, and that was like, we didn't know what was going on at the time. It was more so like he's training our ear to not just be more than producers, know how to structure a song, know how to copy and paste. And then we started making beats. Then he told us our drums was trash. You know what I'm saying? So then we had to go back to the drawing board and kind of like make harder drums, and then we ended up blowing his speaker one day. So we knew we did it. But it kind of started before we even got to the first placement. It was a lot of boot camp, a lot of training our ear, a lot of learning how to work with each other in a productive manner. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot of that.
Right. That process you're talking about, like that, like basically earning your way in. You know what I mean? I think that's kind of a lost art. But I think that process of that rearing of like paying your dues is what's gonna make you guys last forever. Because y'all actually came through the whole thing. Like you talking about from church to sitting around somebody not being able to work. Like he was holding you back, then one day just let y'all rip, and now y'all ripping. That's fire though.
No, that's a fact.
That definitely was boot camp.
For sure.
That's fire though.
Yeah. But it goes back to your point though, not to kind of like change the subject a little bit, but today is a little different. You could send a beat or a loop in, you could really make a lot of people not paying their dues, like, you know what I'm saying? That's why you see the one-hit wonders or the one-hits, or the ones that have been around 5+ years in the game, because they don't know how to sustain that air or know how to be in different settings, like, you know what I'm saying?
Right. I think music and anything, just any art form, like the longer you take to prepare it, the longer it'll last. Like, and y'all been prepared. Like, y'all went through every single step, didn't skip no steps.
I agree with that. That's a fact.
I believe that, bro. I think the faster you get it, the faster you lose it. No matter what it is. And I think the music we experiencing today is so fast. It's for a consumer market, a fast consumer market. It is not gonna last. It is not meant to last. It's just like our clothing. Everything we doing right now is like a temporary thing. But that's fire. The tagline you guys got, because what's funny before. So when you and I met, I hadn't met you yet. I did meet you though. You had come in a few sessions. I met you before. But when we first met, you were guys. In my mind, I thought you were just engineers. I get there, I see all the plaques on the wall. Because Dublin found y'all. I'm managing Dublin at the time, an artist. And he's like, yo, I found these dudes in New Haven. I'm trying to get into good studios. So I found these guys in New Haven, blah, blah, blah. The studio looks nice. Let's go check it out. So I'm like, bet, let's go check it out. So already I told you I'm biased. Sorry guys, I'm from Stanford. I'm like, yo man, we going over here, man. It's probably gonna be because I've been to a few Bridgeport studios, I've been to a few like joints around the state. I'm like, man, it's gonna be like somebody's living room, whatever. And I get there, it was like so professional. I'm like, oh, okay, these dudes ain't playing. And I remember just thinking you was an engineer, and then watching you over these years, I'm like, oh, buddy, you had shit lit. You had the that room y'all built. Y'all was doing them concerts in there. Yeah, it was just so many different layers to you. So it's really cool to even be sitting here and kind of having like what I feel like is like almost a full circle moment for me, just watching y'all grind. You know what I mean, the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
So what was the first placement? How do you go from forget that you in your room, you're making beats, whatever y'all doing? How many beats would y'all think y'all made before y'all had any type of movement?
At that point, you can't even count. It just that's what we knew.
Let's put it like this: like at one point, me and YA count a day was probably 10 beats each. We'll probably make 20 ideas and then come together, or we gotta make 20 beats right now together. Like you know what I'm saying? It was, remember, I'm in college too, and he already in New York moving around. That's what people don't be realizing. So it was a lot of time we wasn't together, but we had to work through internet. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
like
right.
it's a lot of.
What year is this? Because internet not
09 to 13.
and it's not as strong as it is today. Where you're just like it's different back then.
Yeah.
That's fire though. What'd you go to school for?
I went to school for music business and production, music production and stuff.
This was it. You was determined. That was it.
Yeah,
You did that. So all right. So y'all producing the music. What was the first placement you guys got?
Trey Songz.
Yeah.
Trey Songz on his Trigger album.
Mm-hmm.
Word. So when y'all get a call about a placement, what are y'all feeling? What's going through your heads? You know, you grind, and you finally get placed on something.
He was mad excited for that one. That was
Yeah.
Really excited.
Yeah.
Like he just got out of college.
Yep, 3 days out.
Just got
I
out of
graduated
college.
June 25th, and I think 3 days after that. No, May 25th, and 3 days after that we got the call.
Word.
The funny thing about it is he was about to drop out of school.
Right.
Why?
Because I was in New York, he was in college, and
missing out on it.
He felt like he was missing out. He called me one day, like he was like, "Bro, I'm over this. Like I'm out to drop." I was like, "Look, bro, if you drop out of school, we done."
Hey, listen, if you don't ever say that, man, this might not be a story.
Nah, facts. And the thing is, though, people don't really realize at the school I'm at, the dropout rate is like 87%. But it's a good dropout rate because these people are going until they feel. Yeah. Like people I went to school, they playing with Beyonce, they playing with Tyler, like, you know, and they leaving early to go to this draft.
It was a natural thing. It was a natural thing.
My man's working with Neil in New York. Like it's like 09, 10. He's like peak industry years. So I'm like, bro, I'm ready to. Yeah. I'm out. Like,
I'm living through him too. I ain't go to college. So I'm like, nigga, if you drop out, then I'm straight.
Word. You're on a good thing going right now. Word.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of us don't get to, you know what I mean, live that. So, you know, but as soon as we graduated, we got our first placement. So
3 days right after. Yep.
That's fire. That's fire. That was a crucial point in your life. That was a big decision to stay or go because everything worked out the way it's supposed to work out, but you just never know how it would have worked out if you did went another way. That's fire though.
Yeah.
So let's talk about a little bit about. I know y'all do so much. Like I know y'all in the community. Y'all do a lot. So let's talk a little bit about let's talk about playlists though, because I mentioned it before. How did y'all start building that? And what was the concept behind that playlist? Because it's real grown up. First of all, I want to tell y'all it looks very classy and grown up. And I think this state need that. There's not nothing really for grown ups to do here. So I think that's fire.
That was the reason why I created right there. Yeah. Like we really just wanted time for people to dress up and still get the same, get lit, hear the good R&B, hear the good music, but you gotta dress up, being around. You don't want to leave smelling like weed, even though that's a vibe. Sometimes you want to go and get dressed up and meet some ladies or meet some dudes and everybody smell good and
for real.
You know what I'm saying?
Nah, for real.
And people don't realize another component of the playlist is people don't realize we're really real musicians. Like you could put a drum set and keys right here. We're gonna make a song off of that, just off that. So we added the entertainment aspect to it with the live band and the singers. That was a thing that we felt like that was missing from a lot of stuff going on in the tri-state, not even just the state.
Nah, for real.
So we like, that's something we want to go to. So let's add that to our event.
And I got it on the water. It's fly. I saw it. I'm like, yo. But again, I took it. I'm building. I'm like, I'm coming. You know what I mean? I'm looking. You know, when you're doing your thing, you're building your thing. I'm just like, yeah, I'm coming.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that's fire. That's fire. And so you're doing it. So it's one thing, one day.
It's once a month,
Right.
and yeah, we do it once a month, and it's dope because we bring artists, we bring local artists. Sometimes we bring other artists from out of state to come perform. So it's dope. It's really dope.
It's a vibe like you're not gonna get nowhere else.
Yeah, it's a
Like,
fact.
So the playlist thing is fire. Also, I want to talk about. So what is this? This I don't want to call it a festival.
It is.
Is it a festival?
Yeah.
So like, how did that begin? What is the what was the goal of that? What is that you guys do?
The Black Wall Street Festival, we call it the BWS Fest as well. The biggest thing for us is like we know a lot of people with businesses and stuff like that, you know, from our neighborhoods and around. But a lot of people don't know that these businesses exist.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And prior to the festival, though, me and Snacks used to always do like events all the time at our studios, and we used to bring hundreds of people out. So we like, let's do it with a cause.
Right.
Let's bring some vendors out, you know, and set a highlight on businesses. And then, you know, we partnered with the city of New Haven because we were doing a partnership with them. Shout out to Adrian Jefferson. And we just thought like, you know, Black Wall Street was something that's really, really important to our, you know, our heritage and our culture. And a lot of people don't know what it was. You know what I'm saying? So we just thought that would be a dope way to, you know, shed light on that, but also give a lot of people opportunity to make some bread and for the community to know these businesses exist. You know what I'm saying? So it turned out to be one of the biggest festivals.
Correct.
That's fire.
You know, CT has ever said. It's a blessing.
You know why, right?
2022 it started with 1,000 people. 2023 went
started with 1,000. That's yeah. I know you glancing over that. We started. That's a lot of people to start. That's fire right there. But
it was.
Yeah, a lot of people, but a lot of people don't know when we was kids. Not kid. I guess we was doing parties, bringing out 400 or 500 people.
Easily, just. You know what it is though? We got like some type of like grace over our like lives where we can just bring people together. Whether this person don't like this person be with this person, but when they around us and we throwing this all respect, like you know what I'm saying. So we learned that at an early age, like all right, we got to kind of like utilize this and use it to our power. But yeah, the first year was 1,000. Second year we went up to 7,000. And
that's crazy.
Yeah, that growth was crazy. We went from one location.
It was 7,000 people out there, bro.
2024. Yep.
It looked like it though. Like 7. That's crazy, yo. Congratulations.
No, 2023. I'm sorry. Thank you. And then 2024, this previous Black Wall Street Festival, there was, I think, what we saying, yo? I think they 10, right? Close to 10, right? Yep.
I seen them acknowledge y'all for like economic impact. I'm like, yo, they moving.
Yeah.
I said when you start really affecting your community in that way, you know, they recognize it, and I think that more men, especially in our communities, like more of us need to step up and start creating what we talking about. Like, and so for me, that's why this place exists, you know, and that's why we had Cooley House. We had, you know, when I was managing Dublin, we had the store Cooley House, and Cooley House was products from entrepreneurs that we had on our shelves. So we created the store, and we put, you know, local candle makers, clothing. That's how I got the idea for this clothing line, whatever. But we selling people clothing and candles and artwork. Like this artwork up there was in Cooley House.
That's dope.
You know what I mean? So we was trying to also give the platform to people who don't, you know, and people who know these brands exist. And I think that's important for us, especially like pillars, like people who's strong enough. Because everybody ain't strong enough to carry that type of weight. But if you are, I think you should. You know what I mean?
Responsibility.
I think like it's like a duty to God. That's why, you know, I don't want to get too preachy on here.
Nah, you could. That's true.
But that's, you know, when you said like the success of it, but that's why, because y'all doing it for the people. When you working for service to God, it's gonna grow differently. And I know that now. When I met you, I was too early. I didn't know that then. I was still in the street a little bit. I was, you know, 1 foot in, 1 foot out, and I was doing things for me. And then when I started switching things, like the people, including the people, things just start happening differently and growing differently and blossoming differently. So I know that when God is pleased, we're gonna make sure
some things
happen.
That's
where we're supposed to go, bro. I know y'all are definitely doing the work. Like, y'all touching the people for sure.
This year is going to be August 16th on the New Haven Green. The vendor registration is open now.
I'm trying to get in there. We'll talk about that. But I'm trying to get up in there, man. Save me one slot, man.
Yeah, it's easy.
Yeah. I know it's so. One year I'm looking at it, like sold out. I'm like, bruh.
like everybody does good, man. Everybody does well because there's so many people. People are coming here to spend money. It ain't just like no. Oh, we're gonna go to the stage. We have entertainment going on, but people are coming in to spend money.
Yeah.
Like that's the purpose.
I was working out back end like manufacturing, like this hoodie. I was getting the wrong sizes, so I had to work out some back end stuff before I was really ready to step into like markets. But now I'm strapped up.
For sure. And then for the Black Wall Street Festival, it's not just about the money. It's about sustaining the money, keeping the money, and the actual history of the real Black Wall Street. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the education part of it too.
That's right. And that's part of what this is too. If you look behind you, you probably could see there's a Negro Almanac down there. I was talking about it on the internet. On the internet the other day. My mom used to have that book in the crib, but it just talk about everything Black pretty much happened from 1908. But like I'm really, really about us. You know what I'm saying? So I give us the first chance and first light, and I really try to help us with what I know and use whatever I got. You know, I got to a point in my life where I'm like, I can't die with this information. And as I was having private conversations with people, I would realize they ain't know stuff that I thought they should know. Right. We take it for granted, like what you know, you think everybody should know, but they don't know. And I was like, oh man, I got to get out there and really start talking to the people. And that's why this podcast exists and everything.
That's what's up.
Yeah. I had to empty out.
I'm going to bless you too.
No, facts.
For sure. You know, and again, like I just do what I can and that's it. I focus on that. So that's going to be good. So now let's move a little forward into the big news, right? Like a Grammy, man. I've never met nobody with a Grammy, so y'all my first Grammy people I sat in front of. So what is that like? That just the whole experience is just the grind from going from a first placement to having a Grammy. What did that feel like today?
Well, we were nominated 2 times before, and every time we were nominated, I'll quote me if I'm wrong with it, but we always was in LA and we lost.
Well, what'd you get nominated?
Chris Brown, Breezy album, and then the Tamar Braxton Love Award album, right?
Yeah.
So every time we lost, you know what I'm saying? So it's like this time we didn't go to LA and we went and we weren't together.
That's crazy.
And we go to the Grammys every year. We go to the Grammy parties every year.
That's
and this is the first time we didn't go, we went and we weren't together. So
that's crazy. So
as soon as it happened, we FaceTimed each other. We was on the phone, had our moment. It was great. We was grateful. We got on the phone with our manager. We still trying to fill it out right now. It's not like we have a Grammy moment and then we just move. Like we're still trying to process it still. You know what I'm saying? Because it is the biggest prestigious award on music.
I mean, like that's the creme de la creme of your craft. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, there's no higher honors. I mean, I don't know about for what you guys do.
It's definitely a surreal feeling. We were just talking, I think last week, we were saying how we so ambitious. We ain't been really to like process it. Right. Almost like we was being like ungrateful almost, you know what I'm saying?
They say you gotta pause, you gotta live in the moment, bro. Yeah. Like everything you worked for brought you to that moment. Enjoy the moment.
Yeah, first.
Before you jump back on the road and drive, bro. Like enjoy the moment, soak it in, and then get back to work. You gotta be deliberate in them pauses. I'm a grinder, like we all grinders, bro. We could put our head down probably 2 years straight and don't talk to a person and grind. Like, but you can't do that.
That's a fact. You can't do that. We're your blessings, man. You know what I'm saying? So, but now we definitely thankful though.
No, for sure.
We put in a lot of work. So it's definitely amazing to sit back. I think one day it's gonna hit us hard. Dang, we really got.
Bro, some people never get a Grammy, bro.
I know people that's like 30 times nominated right now.
Right.
And let's put this out there. It took us 16 years to get a Grammy.
That's crazy, though.
It took us 16 years to get a Grammy.
And that's important to say, though. And again, and part of this journey I've been on, too, has been, like, transparency. Like, even when I was building this spot, I'm showing them struggles. I'm showing them where I'm messing up at. Because I think people get too diluted. They really don't understand how much pain somebody had to put in or go through before they actually see a Grammy or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And for me, I went through that, too. I had, like, this unrealistic expectation. I'm like, y'all, me, when I drop this line, it's fire. I'm out of here. Like, you just think things are gonna go a certain way, and they don't go that way because you gotta go through the process. But I think it's important that more people speak about
the process.
That it took me 16 years because man, people really don't know the work. You gotta order something that ain't growing right away. Yeah. You gotta keep coming back to order.
You wanna talk about the processes?
Sure.
The not having money,
bro.
He having his son. We gotta divvy up money for his son. Like. The drop, I can't count how many times we got no gas on the highway, getting pulled over. You know what I'm saying? The being in the airport, going to a different city, grinding with no money, but you got this realization that we about to get 5 placements and get it on the back end. Like, you know, it's so weird. It's still to this day, it's still a higher level, but it's still, it's always obstacles, bro. It's however you look at it, it's still obstacles.
So one thing that people successful, I'm realizing that successful people have that people who don't reach success is that me and Snacks never thought about giving up. There was never a time, no matter what we went through, we was thinking like, maybe this ain't for us. Like it was never, we never had a conversation ever before. Like in 16 years, we never had like, yo, like we broke. When Snacks say broke, he means broke. Like split 4 pieces and we buying my son Pampers together.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm like, yeah.
So like we got it out the mud for real.
I love that,
like, you know.
Been up, been down, been up, been down.
But that trait, that right there is, damn, I could go a lot of places with this. That right there, though, that's what separates winners from losers. And every winner story I hear about is a story of adversity. From Cat Williams saying, I'm sleeping on benches, Tyler Perry, I'm sleeping in my car. Every single story got a story like that. But in a spiritual sense, that's just a test of your faith. You know what I mean?
That's all it is.
That's all it really is a test of your faith. And so you're going to say, I want something, God show it to you. You're like, yo, He's going to make sure you really want it. And you got to be obedient through the whole thing.
And let's not get it misconstrued, though. Being quitting and then pivoting is 2 different things.
Word.
Just because you don't get that goal or that goal the way you want to get it, you got to pivot and go take a left.
Word.
But you still could take 3 more rights to get back. It might take some years. I ain't talking about right away. But you still got to learn how to pivot. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think that's what's lost art in today's. Like, even in the industry, people don't know, in real life, people don't know how to pivot. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. I always say the most successful people are the most adaptable people. You know, I use an example. I used to work in a gym, a corporate gym, and we want to do a class. We want to add a class. Everybody in the gym want the class. By the time I get it up the chain, though, just for it to get shot down, though, nothing happens. 4 months went by. The small gyms implement today, and it was winning. And so anybody who's adaptable is going to win because life is ever changing, bro. And it's like, if you're waiting for everything to be like comfortable where you think it's going to flow a certain way and then something happens, you're going to be off guard.
Wait for that perfect time.
And it's never no perfect time. Like, you know, the perfect time is always now. Like, now is the perfect time. And that's the scariest part because, you know, when we're trying to control things, we think we in control. We trying to create the perfect time. I gotta get my money right. I gotta get my credit right. I gotta get this right. You know, sometimes those type of stars never align. They'll never come together for you. So like, you'll be waiting your whole life. And so you gotta really just jump. And that's the scary part. But anybody watching this program, when you jump though, as long as it's the right jump, it can't be like, it can't be Pablo or nothing like that. We're not talking about that type of jump. As long as it's a jump, a passion in your heart, something that's planted in you.
Right.
It'll start manifesting for you as long as you believe in it. You know what I mean? And it's scary, easier said than done, but every single person that I spoke with have operated in the law of using their faith.
You gotta have faith. That's our whole life. That's our whole career. What you see is faith. 100%.
And it all
what you sitting in is faith.
And it all stems back to faith, though. Positive thinking, everything, and mentally, you gotta have some type of faith to do something that people don't think you can do.
Word. So, are y'all doing anything else in the community? Because y'all got the vendor thing going. Are y'all ever going to start mentoring? Or I just feel like that's because I feel like that's the next natural progression for, you know, guys like you who are so active and so known.
We have a school. I'm a nonprofit.
Oh, wow.
We had it since 2017. I believe it's called TheBreed Academy.
You tell you missed out on that.
Yeah, how do we just overlook a whole school, bro? Like, okay, talk about it, man.
It's a training and workforce program. So we, we open up to creatives starting in high school. Basically just teach them everything from, the actual art to the business, to etiquette, everything.
That's fire, bro.
Yeah, so we have 2 producers that are actually platinum producers. One producer is Grammy nominated as well. We have a couple more producers that are doing great in the industry. So, I mean, we're blessed. We're blessed.
That's fire, bro. I did not know that. That's fire. And you always kept the pricing fair.
Yeah.
The studio pricing was fair. You know, at the time, like, when he telling me about it, like, yeah, he did some work. I'm like, yo, bro. Like, bro, how much money do you think I got, bro? Like I said, we just, we trying to shake and bake, you know what I mean?
That came back, though.
The first time we got that, I'm like, bro, we're going there. It wasn't just, you know what it was, too? It was the energy, bro. It wasn't, because you had the air, like, it was black, it felt warm, And so that's when really just like, we got to go there. Because we had been in a few other joints. We had been like Carriage House here in Stanford, you know, and a few other joints. It just didn't feel warm.
But our whole thing is, even when we had multiple studios, but that studio particularly, we wanted to bring the industry felt vibe to that studio. And that's kind of what you're kind of bringing. Like, we wanted you to feel like you was OT, or we wanted to feel like you was going to make a great record this session. You know what I'm saying?
No, for real. And it worked. We felt like that. I'm sitting there. And, you know, for me, again, I'm big on presentation. I'm big on, you know, aesthetics. And I'm getting in, I see you got like a team with everything set up. I'm like, yo, this is a real situation. Again, I'm coming already biased mind. Oh, they gonna do this shit half-assed. Like, that's what I'm thinking, you know what I mean?
Still stuck in 2005.
Stuck, bro.
Stanford, Bridgeport, New Haven,
Stuck in the era. I'm stuck in the era. Word. But, so that tagline, guy, it's crazy. When you finally told me that was the tagline, I'm like, y'all heard the tagline mad times.
Well, other songs.
Yeah, on the one joint is always the most notable for me was the Dave East Chris Brown joint. And so when I heard it, I'm like, oh, that's y'all? It was like a real epiphany moment. But how do you come up with a tagline? What makes you say this is my tagline?
It all started, we just put it in one of the beats we made.
Right, it was a sound.
It was just a sound. Right. We like, shit, how hard.
Right.
We just we sampled that shit, and then boom, that was it. It was just a real obvious sound in the, you know what I'm saying? We like, this shit hard. Cause we had a few tracks before that. We had a few tracks before that, but that one stuck out.
And that tag was now we talking about it, that was the most authentic, realest way to get a tag. Because the other tags we had, it was like fours. We had a girl come in and say TheBreed made it. Like, you know what I'm saying? That wasn't, like you said, that wasn't like a forceful thing. Like, it just happened naturally.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me get in your business a little bit. So after you get a Grammy, the price go up?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
I heard that. I heard that before.
Because you're in like a different type of class now. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like going from
improving.
Right.
Right. So what are some of your what genres have you worked on, you guys? Is it all R&B or is it what?
No. Let's set the record straight for the people then.
Yeah.
We're actual musicians.
I know it.
We really play.
Hip hop, obviously R&B, K-pop. We big in the K-pop market. Wow. We work a lot in the K-pop market. We do some pop. We did a lot of pop records. We are now working on a lot of TV shows like scoring and things of that nature now. So we're really big in that market, in the sync field and things of that nature. We touch any genre you can name.
That's fire, bro.
We've dabbled in, but we musicians, so it's not like we just doing what we do.
Right.
We just happen to know how to format it correctly and know what people want. You know what I'm saying? But as far as like the genres, like it excites us. Like
that's fire. R&B is like our, like, you know what I'm saying? We do R&B, we do it, but we love when we get country stuff or like Berlin. Like, we really do this. Like, it's a song. We can't say the show name, but it's a song we just did, and they wanted us to kind of make some burlesque style music, and we looked at it and we was like, yes, let's do it. Like, yes. And then they came back in the room, was like, is this a sample? Where do you guys get this from? Nah, we actually
COVID. We moved to Atlanta. Well, we moved to Atlanta before COVID hit, but when we shut down our studio when COVID hit out here, so we about to build another studio out here.
Oh, I think I remember using Atlanta working.
For like we've been in Atlanta since 2020, February 2020. We just moved back like last year, bro. Last year.
Yeah, I know you got kids.
Yeah, I got 2 kids.
You got kids and you got kids. That's why you move around like that.
Move around like oh.
You was in Atlanta. How long was you?
He was in Atlanta too. He was there all good too.
Just caught me more. I go back and forth.
How do I manage? Give me some tips, man, because as I go through this journey, I know I'm gonna start getting busy, and I gotta do it too. So how do I manage the time? You know what I mean? So I'm losing nobody in the shuffle, man.
Well, our old manager told me one thing that stuck with me. He was like, "You gotta do what you gotta do, because one day these kids, they're gonna forget about your ass anyway, and they're gonna need your money. And if you don't do what you need to do now, you're not gonna be able to take care of the responsibility, which is being a father for them when they get older. So you gotta take some sacrifices now, you know, which may be not being around them, and when you do get money, spend a little more to make sure you are there for them for a point.
I like that.
So
I like that.
It's stressful, but it's worth it. You know what I mean?
I like that. All right, man. So listen, I'm not gonna hold y'all long. Like I said, we talked about a lot. Is there anything y'all want to talk about, or what advice would you give to a young, up and coming producer? Right now, there's so many producers. Everybody's doing music. Like, everybody's doing everything. What advice or what would you tell your younger self or tell an up and coming producer about this industry or their path?
It's hard because we came up in a different era.
Right.
So if I came up in this era, I would tell the person DM and email or go to any type of thing music related that you can get to.
Right.
But we in the DM era. Our era, we had to be outside. We had to go to New York every day. We had to get on the subway. We had to, back in the day, you had to be outside. But for a producer nowadays, I'll say, if you're nice, email the Breed and see all that.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Nah, seriously, we actually have a couple producers signed to us, and one of our producers lives in South Korea. Welcome, fire.
Right.
Super fire. So like we always, on the lookout for other producers that we can help, bring opportunities and make sure that, their goals come, to fruition too. Cause that's what Troy did for us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we're just trying to just duplicate that same thing.
And the meaning of the breed is when you breed something. You know what I'm saying? That's people don't really be realizing that. We're called that for that. You know what I'm saying? And back to Welcome. Welcome is actually working too. Like, it's placement with Jake, Jacquees, Bryson Till. He got a few, like, you know what I'm saying? He's working.
I think I know people shun gatekeeping, but I think gatekeeping is a little necessary. Like, because the producer should have to come through seasoned veterans to get polished and get, get that expertise and that mentorship, and they should be put out. Right now I think we skipping processes. You can go straight from the couch to the you know what I mean?
That's cool. We're missing the producer development, we're missing the songwriter development, we're missing the artist development. All that is development. You know what I'm saying?
For real.
Paying your dues.
For real. And as much as I come through life and I complain about dudes, when you in them, when you paying them, they hard. And you complaining. But when you look back, bro, it is so necessary and it's so worth it to pay your dues, man. So, all right, man. Well, listen, guys, that's a wrap. Appreciate you guys coming through for real. We're gonna do this again when I get an Emmy or something. Come back. Come back and we'll do this again.
Next one, we come to the studio. We do it right in our studio.
Right. There it is.